Hey guys, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I was just thinking about the story night that I just started, and I, alhamdulillah, had a chance to do it for the first time in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, called Whispers, and it's the story of creation, how humanity began. And one of the things that came up in conversation that was really interesting was people asking, I didn't ask to be put on this earth. I didn't ask to be created. I didn't ask to have these trials, so why is Allah holding me responsible for something that wasn't even my choice? What's really cool about the Quran and the way Allah talks about the way we were created is actually that we were given a choice. Before He put us on this earth, He told us the responsibility He's giving us, that He's giving us the power of choice, that we're going to be tempted by doing the wrong thing, even though we have the ability to do the right thing. He also essentially told us that we are going to be put to this test, and there are going to be eternal rewards at the end, and we're going to get to be in His permanent company, or we're going to see these punishments. And He says essentially that we are, this responsibility was offered to all of creation, all of them turned it down, and we're the only ones that, we have the choice whether or not to take it. And us unanimously said, we are ready to take this challenge on. We're going to take this responsibility. We're ready to do it. Even though He told us, you're going to forget this conversation. It's going to be a subconscious part of our faith. We're not literally going to remember that we had this conversation with Allah already. But we were so confident in the ability Allah gave us and the rewards that were coming ahead of us that we said we are ready to take this challenge. And actually that's where the story of creation begins. There's a lot more about that I want to talk to you guys about. That's why Story Night is a 3-hour event. Okay, so that was like my first Instagram live, so I got a little nervous, and I did it super fast because, it's the internet. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about, let me take a step back and explain it to you. I did the story night in Kuala Lumpur about the story of how we all got created. And it was the first time I did it. And what was really awesome this time was there were a lot of questions from the audience. I mean, I stayed maybe 3 hours, 2.5 hours extra after the program ended, just answering people's questions. And it made me realize this is the first story in Islam. It's the story of how we were put on the earth, right? When Allah created us, the whole story with the devil, and people have their perceptions about what actually happened and, how we came about on this earth. And there's a lot of pieces missing, and it leaves people with a lot of questions. And just from the conversations I had with people, I realized that there's a lot of stuff we don't know. Like the Quran is not as obvious to people as I imagined. And a lot of those stories are not as obvious, or the lessons from them are not as obvious that as I thought they were. So I realized the importance of sharing this particular story. And one part of it that I wanted to highlight that I kind of did in a hurry, but I'll take a minute and explain to you guys again, is that when Allah first created us, He didn't just, kind of Adam alayhi salam ate from the tree and He just, punished us and put us on the earth and we don't even know why we're here. It seems like our father made this mistake and we're paying the price, and all these kinds of ideas come in people's head. But actually the Quran tells us that it wasn't like that exactly. That actually we were told, all of humanity was told that they're going to be put on this trial, and it's going to be a really hard trial. And at the end of that trial, we're either going to get to meet Allah and be in His company and be in heaven, or we're going to get this eternal punishment if we fail this trial. But He's given us the ability to pass this test and to ace this test like no other creation has. And He also told us that He offered this awesome responsibility of making choice, even though we won't see Allah. Like, we were in the unseen before, where we could talk to Allah directly, and we could hear Him speak to us. But He basically essentially told us, we're going to be on this earth, we're not going to be able to hear Him, we're not going to be able to speak to Him directly, or He's going to be in the unseen from us. But we're going to have to believe in that unseen, and still take on this test, and even this conversation that He's having with us, we're not going to remember it. إِنَّا كُنَّا عَنْ هَذَا غَافِلِينَ. Don't come back and say we had no idea. That's what He told us. But we took this task on anyway, because we realized how capable Allah made us. Like we realized that we're not losers, basically. We realized that we're capable of not only passing this test, but acing this test on this earth. And so all of us actually made this conscious choice to come to this earth and to live this life and to face all of these trials, and then prove to Allah that we are worthy of these trials and we can pass them. Even if we do fail, we're going to get back up, we're going to repent, and we're going to keep going. We're going to fix ourselves up and we're going to keep going. And that's actually a pretty amazing start to our story, to your story and my story. as human beings. And that started with Adam alayhi salam. We all took responsibility for our actions. So, when we come around and say, well, it's not my fault. Allah just planned this for me and I just kind of got put here. Before He put us here, He actually asked us if we can take this on. وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانِ, the human being deliberately decided to carry this burden. We took that on ourselves. So it's pretty amazing that He's given us this sense of responsibility from the very, very beginning, and there are not going to be any excuses. And that we believed in ourselves much more then than it seems we even do now, So this is the story that I want to share with you guys. It's about a 3-hour long program, but I give lots of breaks, and alhamdulillah, there's lots of opportunity for good conversation. But I do really think it's something that everybody needs to review. I felt like when I reviewed it, that I really needed it. And I've been studying Quran for lots of years, but when I went back to this story and kind of really contemplated each piece, how did the devil talk to Allah? Why did he talk to him like that? What was going on in his head when he talked to Allah like that? And why does he hate Adam alayhi salam so much? And why is his anger never satisfied? These kinds of things that I wanted to really explore as we approach this story. So I hope you guys join me when I do the story night around the world. I'm taking a little downtime in Texas now, but hopefully, inshallah, pretty soon I'll be on the road again. And, take Whispers around the world, inshallah. And I hope to see you guys there and have some meaningful conversation. Thanks a lot. Bye, Internet. I am really, really nervous because, I don't do public speeches or something. But okay, bye.